Hello, and welcome to the Chelmsford Public Schools Art Department TV show, Spotlight on Fine Arts. My name is Nicole Arsenault. This month, we will talk to the members of the grades 6 through 12 about the All-Town Wind Ensemble. We will also learn about a brand new filmmaking class at CHS. And now, on to Spotlight on Fine Arts, episode 67.
Hi, my name is Nolan Busalacchi. Have you heard? The All-Town Wind Ensemble will be in New York City this spring. That's right, the ATWE will spread their music magic at Carnegie Hall at the end of March. Let's hear some of the ATWE members talk about this great opportunity.
Hi, I'm here in the studio with some very special and dedicated musicians from our middle and high schools. Welcome to Spotlight on Fine Arts.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Wright, of course, you are the co-director of the McCarthy Grade 5 through 8 Band, as well as the co-director of the All-Town Wind Ensemble, or ATWE.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you could be here with us today.
Thanks for having us.
Students, why don't you introduce yourselves? Tell us what grade you're in, what school, and what instrument you play in the All-Town Wind Ensemble.
Okay, hello, I'm Holden Crouthamel, grade 6 in Parker Middle School, and I play the trombone.
I'm Kenneth Damon. I'm in 7th grade at McCarthy Middle School, and I play the bass clarinet.
I'm Amelia Hughes. I'm a freshman at Chelmsford High School, and I play the trumpet.
I'm Jordan Harris. I'm in 8th grade, and I go to Parker Middle School, and I play percussion.
I'm Ethan Meltzer. I'm grade 9 at CHS, and I play percussion and double bass.
Well, I'm so glad that you could be here today. Obviously, there's a wide range of instruments represented in this small group and also grade levels. So we're here because all of these people are members of the All-Town Wind Ensemble, or ATWE, and you all have an amazing trip and an amazing year happening. So, Mr. Wright, will you just tell us a little bit about what is happening this year that's so special?
Sure. Well, it's the first time that the All-Town Wind Ensemble will be traveling out of state overnight, and we'll be in New York City, and we're going to be performing at Carnegie Hall. We were accepted to a festival there, and we have the opportunity to play on one of the biggest stages in the nation and world, and we have a whole trip kind of planned around it, where we get to experience New York. We get to see professional performances, not only musicals, but also do different workshops and make a whole event of it, kind of capped off with this big performance at this amazing venue. So
I am just so excited about this. This is the first time that I know of that a Chelmsford ensemble is performing at Carnegie Hall.
Yeah.
And this is such a prestigious venue. I don't think that it gets better than this, really, in the world.
No.
So let's talk a little bit about that, but also about ATWE. People may not know what ATWE is all about, and you know, this is the first time that they're hearing about this mixed grade level ensemble that is doing these fabulous things. So we have people who are new to the group this year, people who are veterans in the group. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your experiences with the group, what it means to you, and what it's all about? Now, Amelia, I know you've been in the group for quite a while, and you've seen it evolve over the years. Why don't we pass the microphone down and tell us a little bit about your experiences with ATWE?
Okay, so what I've noticed as I've been in the group is that it's changed a lot since I joined. I think I joined when I was in 6th grade or 7th grade. And I've noticed that the younger musicians, as I've gotten older, are just so talented, and they really pay attention to the music. And playing the kind of music that we do play actually really helps all of us as musicians, and I've really noticed that, and it's changed for me how I look at music and stuff since I've been in the group for so long. And like every year we have new music, and so it challenges all of us really in a new way each year, and I really like to see how our music has gotten more difficult as I've been in the group, and the young musicians really handle it really well, and they try their best, and they're really good. And I think that's really great.
And you said it changes the way that you approach music and learning music. What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, it's difficult music that we play. And I if I hadn't been introduced to this difficult music when I was younger, that I don't think that I would be the musician I am today, just because it's helped me really focus on the music that I play. So
that's really, really important. Ethan, you are also a veteran member of the group. Why don't we pass the mic down and tell me about your role and how that may have evolved and how you take on more of a leadership role now that you are one of the older students in the group.
So as I said, I play the double bass, and the problem with the double bass, it's not really a role where you can lead per se. Because of the instrument, you don't have the capability or knowledge to teach the younger kids. But I have seen the group evolve over the years, and I've been there, and it really does amaze me how the younger kids can really step up and learn the hard music. Like, it's that. And I think it's because if you let them try, they'll do it because they want to, instead of just forcing them to play easy music. If you let them try to play hard music, they might just do it.
Yeah, so basically this ATWE will give students an opportunity to reach further as far as the difficulty level, especially if they're a younger musician, playing higher level things that maybe they would be playing in one of the beginning ensembles in their middle school.
Right.
Yeah.
And if I could just add something,
Yeah.
what we notice with this group, it is a grade 6 through 12 ensemble, as they're referencing. So when Amelia joined in 6th or 7th grade, some of our students joined 4 or 5 years ago when they were in 6th grade. Now they're getting ready for junior year or senior year, and the group has evolved, but nobody has seen this this style of group before, especially in a concert band setting. At least in past years, when we go to competitions and when we meet with professors and educators from around the nation, they're taken aback a little bit by the age range. And Allie and I both have the philosophy of if you expose kids to music of this level and in an appropriate setting where they can learn from older students, there can be a modeling, and but also the literature selection is so important, where it is a challenge, but it is attainable.
You're right. I mean, this is a model that is extremely unusual. I don't think I've ever heard of another, grade 6 through 12 instrumental ensemble that's doing these kinds of things. So, yeah, a lot of the achievement level that they're able to attain is because of your planning, literature selection, everything else. But the student modeling is so important, and that's something that I just love about this group. So let me hear from some of the newer members of the group. You're coming in on the other end of things here. What's your impression of this experience? Why don't we?
Being in ATWE has really helped me understand music. It's teaching me new notes, new rhythms, and new techniques to play my instrument. It's basically just when I would before I joined ATWE in my normal band class, when I couldn't play some stuff, I just let the other people play it. But now that I've learned in ATWE, the music is so difficult that they might not be able to play it too, so I have to learn it as well. So it's made me work much harder than I usually have.
That's a great point. So there's a lot of personal responsibility that you're taking. Yeah, that's a great skill. How about you and your experiences?
Like what he said, I have also learned a lot of new techniques on how to play all the different instruments, and have done a lot more difficult things that I would have ever done. Right, just in this band.
And you're part of the percussion ensemble too, right? For this group, or the percussion part of the group.
Yes.
And you're going to be working with these students too as you go up through the high school. You'll be taking the percussion class at CHS and everything, and so you're building those relationships too, right?
Yeah.
Let's get back to Carnegie Hall. There's that old saying, how do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice, practice, practice. You all know how it is.
Yeah.
So tell me, how do you feel about going to this amazing venue?
I don't know, it's so different from anything else that I've ever experienced as not just a musician, as a person. I think this group can handle it because of not just the amazing directors, but the high school helpers that are really helping, middle school. And I think the group has gotten a lot stronger.
And tell me about some of the other things that you'll be doing while you're in New York City.
We are going to see 2 Broadway shows, which it's pretty exciting for a lot of us. And what are some of the other?
We're going to be doing a workshop as well, leading up to one of the Broadway shows where we're working with some of the cast members and musicians that are involved.
That's amazing.
Which is pretty cool, so you get to see the professional.
Yeah.
And we're staying in Times Square, which is pretty pretty cool place
So
to
you can go get
be.
your pictures taken with Elmo, or
Yeah,
whatever.
of course, yeah, whoever's there.
It just sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I really am. I will be there, applauding in the audience, and cheering for you. I'm really eager to hear your performance there and beyond. You also have Micah happening this year, and I can't wait to see what happens next year.
Yeah.
We are going to actually have the opportunity to watch a recent performance of Atwee, one piece that they performed at their winter concert. This is a march. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what we'll be listening to?
Okay, so the piece is called Pan American. It's a Spanish or South American march, and what that means is that it's very like a strong rhythmic feel, and it's metronomic. You don't break from that time. It's not very like melodic or anything like that. And what you'll hear is like the power of the sound that Atwee can create, and sounds heroic.
Excellent introduction. All right, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Thank you, Mr. Wright, and also your co-director, Ms. Lacasse, for bringing this amazing opportunity to these students and to our town.
Thank you so much.
And let's listen to the All-Town Wind Ensemble.
Hi, I'm Madeleine Gaffney. I love movies, don't you? Do you ever wonder how they get made? Well, at CHS, we have a new class that teaches students how to make a movie from beginning to end. Want to hear more? Let's head to the studio.
Okay, we're going to switch gears now and move from the world of music to the world of theater and film. And I have with me Lauren Cochran, our theater and filmmaking teacher at the high school. Thank you very much for being here.
You're welcome.
and some of your very talented students in a brand new course that we're going to talk about. This is the first year we're offering digital filmmaking. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what that course is all about and how did that happen?
Well, last year a student named Sam Hall, who was a senior, I'd never met him before, he appeared and he said, Mrs. Cochran, do you think you could teach a digital filmmaking class? You know, you're the theater teacher. And I'm like, really? He goes, yeah, a lot of kids want to take it. I think it'd be great because it's sort of, you know, the newest technology. Everyone has a camera built into their iPhone. So I said, well, Sam, sure, let's try to, you know, request permission, put together a proposal, and we did. And we went to you, and you thought it was a great idea. And then this summer I worked on a whole pacing guide and did the curriculum, and I learned more in one summer about film than I ever knew. I mean, other than being a theater teacher, so I certainly can teach character work and acting. So that's how it got together. It actually came from the students. And it's been so far well received. We're learning an awful lot as we go, as well as, you know, how long projects should be, how long it takes to film. Filming is actually takes a lot longer than people know, you know, when they do that. I've only been an extra in a few films, and my son's an actor, so I have access to LA and Hollywood. But that's how it came. It came from the students, and it's very exciting. It's really good for my brain to learn all sorts of new things.
It's good for your brain, good for the students too, because and for me, I'm learning too a lot about this, and all the things that go into making a movie that we don't know about as viewers. So the first thing I want to do is share some of the student work with you. This is what we all see first. Before we go to the movies, we see trailers. And the students took some footage that you may be familiar with and changed it a little bit. So let's take a peek at one of their trailers. Well, I'm traumatized now. Thank you. So Lauren, this is your trailer project.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what we just saw.
So I just took the normal trailer for Forrest Gump and I edited it a bunch, and I kind of like figured out, because I knew a little bit about editing, but no one else in my like group, which was Brian, Lizzie, they didn't know how to edit, and I barely knew how to edit, so it was kind of like a learning as we go, and I know Miss Cochran was kind of learning how to edit too at the same time, so it was really fun.
So was the idea a genre flip?
Yeah.
Take a movie like Forrest Gump, which is, you know, so touching and beautiful, moving movie, and just change it using what, editing and music?
Yeah, and honestly, it was really, Forrest Gump was like kind of easy to make into a horror movie, which I don't know. It was kind of weird.
Cool. So why did you select that movie?
I don't remember. I think we just it was one of Liz. I think it was Brian's idea to he just kind of threw it out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was no reason specifically.
And it's so interesting how the music is such an important factor. You know, when I was little and I was scared of a movie, my dad would just say, you know, block your ears. It's not scary anymore if it's, you know, a scary movie with scary music. And you did the opposite. You added the scary music to totally make us feel a different way. And what kind of other effects were you using there? Or what kind of software? I mean, how did you make that happen?
So we used Adobe Premiere, in which we have it on all like the school computers and the TV studio at the high school. And effects, I didn't really use that many. I just added filters and like sped things up, slowed things down, zoomed in on certain things to make it look creepy. Yeah.
It was very effective.
Thanks.
Thank you. So, all right, we have another trailer. It is also frightening, so watch out. All right. So another one, a total genre flip, right? Tell us a little bit about what we just saw, Lam.
So when we were making the film, we wanted to really flip something that you would normally think of like comedy, something lighthearted, and completely flip it backwards into something frightening. And we were like, Frozen would be the perfect film to do. And it was surprisingly easy to do because when you think about it, if you look at the film, there's a lot of scary scenes in it, like the ice monster that comes out, Elsa. She's kind of an ice witch in the movie, which we framed as the monster in our trailer. And that's how it came together.
It's so effective. And you're right, there are some pretty creepy things in there. You even made the little snowman guy kind of creepy. Great job. I love seeing this kind of project come out of the class. And this is really the tip of the iceberg here because they're involved in all kinds of other projects. Tell us about some of the other things that students are doing.
The very first project I had them do was an actuality film, which I didn't even know what that was until I started to study the history of film. So we did do a whole unit on the history of film and Thomas Edison and the French films. And an actuality film were the very first kinds. The very first one that was copyrighted was Fred Ott's sneeze. This guy sneezing. Thomas Edison had done one. And then there was workers coming out of a factory. So I said, just to start, just do a simple actuality film, just a slice of life. So everyone in the class did that singularly. But then pretty soon, I think we broke into groups of 3 for the genre flip. And they also did a shot list. We learned all about the different kinds of shots for the cameras, and they all went around the school and filmed extreme close-ups and establishing shots and learned the language of film. We've also been studying directors, which was really a lot of fun. We did Alfred Hitchcock and Charlie Chaplin. We actually did D.W. Griffith and watched a lot of Birth of a Nation, which was a little bit amazing to watch. I had never seen it myself. And every day, what do we do every day? We have a what?
Movie quotes.
Movie quotes?
Yeah, we have different ones.
Do you bring in the quotes?
No.
No, I have a giant poster that years ago I happened to have of the 100 greatest movie quotes of all time.
Oh, cool.
So it's the amazing thing about the internet is we actually watch the clip of the quote. So they've seen a lot of movie clips, which is really fun for them.
Get some context for these.
Now they'll tell you about their latest project, which is a lot larger than I think any of us anticipated. But
all right, yeah, share that.
So our latest project is we're working on making an actual 25 to 30 minute film, and this could be anything. A lot of the genres I'm seeing now is like drama, horrors based around the school, and by the time we finish it, we'll be submitting this to the film festival for everyone to watch.
Awesome. So what is involved? I mean, that's 30 minutes. That is a lot of work.
we're learning that.
Yeah.
So how do you even start a project like that?
So we started by, we have this website called Celtics or Celtics, and we all made accounts, and you get a free month of like using everything. So we made index cards and like timelines of how we wanted to like map out our story, and then we printed those out. And then once the trial ended, you can still write your script. So like I know my group, I don't know about the same for yours, but we all kind of wrote the script together, and then we went over it and made it like cohesive. And then after that, we started, we held auditions to have people, like actual actors, like people in theater and stuff. And then we started filming in class, and right now we're still filming and editing at the same time.
Wow, so very intensive kind of project here. And what do you have, Lamb, in your hand?
So I have in my hand a storyboard, it's kind of an artistic representation of the plot line of the movie. And so the premise of our movie is, it's called The Pen. And so it's this magic pen that whatever you write comes true.
Cool.
So it basically is a high school drama where she starts off saying like, hey, I wish I got an A on my history test. And then it gets really bad, and she starts to mess with the popular girl in school, and it gets worse from there.
Yeah, usually magic doesn't lead you to a happy ending. Wow, and Laura, what is your script about, or your video?
So my script is based off a true story. It started as a documentary, but then we kind of made it into a drama. And it's about this girl who has just graduated high school, and she's going to Africa on like a mission trip kind of thing, and she tweets something very racist. And she shuts off her phone and goes on like the long flight, like 8 hours or something, and she turns on her phone, and like her whole life is kind of ruined. Like she lost her job and her college acceptance, and a lot of her friends too. So it kind of just is how she, from start to finish, like when she tweeted to how she kind of like changed and became a better person from it.
I'm very excited about these. So you said that these will be shared in a film festival?
Yes, we're planning on, I have 3 digital filmmaking classes second semester. So between the 2 that I had this semester and the 3, we should have a number of films. We already have 5 films that are being done right now with the first 2 classes, because we broke into production companies. We had to have them do location release forms and talent release forms, and I said I want show posters and business cards to treat it as if it's a film project. But we will be having at least, I would guess, 10 films by May, where we're going to have a festival and present the winning film with a monetary prize, hopefully. And we charge a little bit of admission. We'll be able to invest in the film classes to get some more equipment that is much needed, we can tell now as we go on.
Right.
And you were good enough. We got a couple of nice Canon cameras, which is important, but all of a sudden, you know, we're using task cams and microphones, and we're learning that lighting and sound is so paramount to filmmaking.
Yes.
Which is great.
Well, if people are interested in watching the films that all of the digital filmmaking classes are coming up with, please do check the Fine and Performing Arts webpage on the Chelmsford Public Schools website, and I'll make sure to have that posted, and we'll send it out to the papers and everything too, because I think this is a really exciting new opportunity for people to, for the students to really create films on their own with your guidance and with historical context, and for the public really to come in and see the excellent work that you are all doing. So congratulations. And Mrs. Cochran, thank you so much for bringing the student suggestion and putting all the work into developing this course.
Yeah, you're
it's
welcome.
Really exciting.
My pleasure. It's a great place, great students.
That's right.
That's
All
right.
right. Well, thank you again. And keep up the good work. And thank you very much for joining us on Spotlight on Fine Arts.